Eye on South Asia is brought to you by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo, together we'll go far.
Hello and welcome to Eye on South Asia. I'm Bhavna Vannan.
And I'm Sanjeev Pandya.
Every week we'll bring to you the latest news and happenings with the South Asian community in North America. All right, Sanjeev, this week's top headlines include actually a new launch of a tablet. Now, we've had Apple launching their iPad mini and the iPad 4 coming out, and now India has its own new tablet, which is the Aakash 2.
This is India's answer to iPad.
Exactly. Well, that's a kind of a dispute, but they've actually made it the lowest cost tablet ever. And they have just released this tablet at the UN headquarters in New York.
That's right.
And Ban Ki-moon, the secretary, he had many great things to say about this tablet, because essentially the UN is about promoting education for around the world on a global scale, as well as within India. And so what this tablet is being used to do is they're bringing this into universities, and so they're giving it out to several million students for free, and they'll be able to use this technology and really develop their education and take their learning to the next level.
Which is, I think, a very significant move by UN by introducing this tablet in the US and to reach out to other educational sectors, like you said. Aakash 2 tablet was released in India some time back, and with the one single purpose in the mind that this tablet should reach to Indians all over in India, and they should be able to afford it, use it, and get all the knowledge that they need to know, educate themselves. And this is what Aakash 2 is, what it's for. And when I say that it is India's answer to Apple's iPad, in some way it is, but not really an answer to Apple's iPad. But Aakash 2 tablet
they
is
aren't
well.
actually claiming to compete with the iPad or anything. You know, their focus is something different.
Correct.
You know, when it comes to iPad, it's kind of like the Apple products are a status symbol, but this is all about education. So that's like their buzzword when it comes to this device. And there was actually some controversy with this product where they were saying, you know, this is an all Indian made product, and there was some issue with them saying that China is involved in making some of the parts, as is the case with many products, right? Even
Same
including
thing goes with Apple, exactly.
Yeah, including Apple and Microsoft products. But at the same time, the founder of the company and the maker of the product, he said, you know, the innovation part of it was all done in India, and some assembly and contract work was done in China, but in the end, it's India's work.
The founder of this Aakash 2 tablet is an Indian based in Canada. Sumit Singh Tuli, Chief Executive Officer of DataWin, that's his company. So he's based in Canada, and as you mentioned, that most of the parts and the innovation was done in India, and some of the parts were assembled outside India, outside the US or Canada. But this is, I think, a really very interesting piece of product, and hopefully that will help many Indians in India and also other educational or institutions in the US or worldwide.
Right. Great development there with the Aakash 2. And bringing India back into the picture, the US, after the presidency, the elections were over, has been trying to recruit India once again to really strengthen the ties.
Exactly.
And this is part of an overall strengthening of ties with Asia, Southeast Asia, and Asia Pacific. And so there are several lawmakers that came into Capitol Hill, and they've been discussing a bipartisan way to get India's support with several issues, working together as a natural ally on the economic, diplomatic, several fronts.
Correct.
So can you talk a little bit about those details? There were actually 20 congressmen at this meeting.
At this meeting, and I think Dr. Sampath Shivangi, who is a very well-known Republican and also involved in the politics, and also in the White House, having a post appointed by Barack Obama, he was also there along with Congressman Frank Pallone of New Jersey. He was there, and it was, I think, a most visible manner cutting across party lines where Democrats and Republicans got together, and the title is Lawmakers Assure Bipartisan Support to India in Capitol Hill, meaning not one single party, but both of the parties are supporting India in a Capitol Hill for many projects. And it was, I think, it was indeed a good feeling to see both parties coming together, somewhat leaders from both parties coming together and endorsing this
and working
project.
on a solution.
Right.
Exactly. And speaking of which, we also had Senator Roger Wicker of Mississippi.
That's right.
He is also trying to bring in this relationship, strengthen the defense relationship between India and the U.S. And he's essentially saying that the relationship is on the right track. And he really wants to strengthen it further. He actually mentioned the 10-year new framework agreement signed back in 2005 by Bush and Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. And they really said that this is a solid roadmap for bilateral cooperation again. And also the military sales was cited between the US and India. It's grown exponentially to reach more than $8 billion. And with general trade being about $100 billion.
And he also said that India now conducts more than 50 military exercises in a year with America.
Exactly.
Than any other country.
Exactly. So he wants to say that the more they work together in regards to defense, the more the U.S. will feel secure about its ally when it comes to recruiting India for help with Afghanistan, removing terrorism in the area and stuff like that. So it's really a good effort there.
I think what you just said is the right thing, that Afghanistan and leadership in there, that's where this Senator Roger Wicker has been inspired and motivated, and saying that future U.S. defense strategies can't ignore India. So that is also a good story.
Exactly. India is big on the agenda after the election.
And by the way, speaking of the election, last week we talked about elections and how Obama is going to be actually nominating more Indian Americans in this term than before, and I think we're going to see as many as it could be close to 50 Indian Americans in the White House administration, which is going to be a record number. Never ever before that many Indian Americans were part of White House administration.
Exactly. I mean, the Indian American community is a growing community.
True.
And we're going to talk a little bit about that later, where people are being appointed into top positions, top roles to kind of get business from this community, which is great news. All right, so let's switch gears a little bit.
Speaking of the great news, another great news is...
Great news, yes. Right. It's regarding the INOC, which stands for Indian National Overseas Congress, USA.
Right.
And they're actually launching the Tamil Nadu wing.
Indian National Overseas Congress Tamil Nadu wing was launched, to be precise, on November 27th in New York, in the presence of former Union Minister S. Thinuvakarasan at a gala dinner which was in New York, and other dignitaries were also present. And again, I think the message what they are trying to give is that Congress Party is reaching out to NRIs in the USA, spreading a message about what Congress Party is all about, what Congress has done for Indians in India, what are their plans. So basically getting ready for 2014 elections. This is what it sounds like it, because at this ceremony also Prime Minister Manmohan Singh's message was relayed to NRIs present for INOC Tamil Nadu wing launch, and the same thing that was said, that Congress is looking forward to do certain things past 2014 election, and it's all about election.
Right. So I hear that there were some VIPs from New York also
Right.
at this function. So
Yeah.
can you tell us about that?
There were a few dignitaries, government dignitaries, as well as I think some VIP guests who are part of community. They were involved in there. There's a long list of it, and another. I guess one of the main person was there, our Indian Express journalist, a veteran journalist, Mr. Prakash Swamy was there. Then I think he's actually president of Tamil Sangam, that you know
Yes.
about it. And he introduced the guest as doyens of Congress in Tamil Nadu. So many leaders, many Tamil Nadu Congress leaders were also present at this occasion, and they were introduced by Prakash Swamy, our own Prakash Swamy.
So we're going to talk a little bit more about India. So getting back into the whole Indian involvement in the global scale.
This is a story which I think is very true. It has a meaning to it, and I think it should inspire many, many, many Indians living in India.
Right. So Sunita Williams, we talked about her as she came back from her 127-day mission
Right.
just a few weeks ago, and she has a message for India, and she says that she wants India to get involved in the space program. She wants Indian space program to develop more and to get people on board, get people out in outer space and
That's
do
right.
these missions and really get them on this global scale, competing to the extent that the US and Russia are doing. So that's her big message now, is
Because
get
she's
involved.
saying that India has a great resource of people and talent, and she can't imagine that Indians or Indian Americans not taking part in this space program, which she said that because we are intelligent, we are very resourceful, and we can definitely contribute a lot to the space center. And she's actually sending a message directly to Indians. And of course, this Indian American astronaut Sunita Williams, who is now world known, and she has actually spent a total of 322 days in space during her two very long, very well known and accomplished missions. And she's only lagging few days behind NASA's Peggy Whitson. Peggy
Right.
Whitson, who spent 377 days.
Yes, this actually makes her the second most experienced female astronaut in history.
Right. And Sunita Williams, I think she's got a lot more to do, a lot more to contribute to the Space Society. So I have a feeling that one day she will break Peggy's record, but that's not the point. The point is what she's saying, that Indian Americans should get involved. And I don't know, Bhavna, whether you know it or not. Many years ago, there was an Indian astronaut named Kalpana Chawla.
Yes.
Who was actually on a space mission, but her space mission failed, I think, on the way back to NASA. Just I think few thousand miles and few hours they were short, and that's when the space mission got failed.
These are great role models in the Indian American community to look up to, as you said, Kalpana Chawla and Sunita Williams. So we do expect India to get more involved in the space program.
That's right.
Yes. So with that, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back on Eye on South Asia.
Eye on South Asia is brought to you by Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo, together we'll go far.